ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. It's time once again. It's time for that podcast heard, well, around a few places, by tens of listeners. It's time for the Department of Understanding Humans, the podcast. That's right, the podcast, featuring your ringmasters for the day, that stupendous giggle-snorting gal, Friday herself, Rachel Wynn, and now her co-host actually has a name, that cranky clown you love to adore, Chris Meyer. And on with the show!
D.U.H, Department of Understanding Humans, yeah!
Da-da-da-da-da-da. Duh.
Duh. So anticlimactic.
Well, you know, for our tens of listeners, it's the beginning of the Duh podcast program.
How many listeners do we have this week? Let's. How many do you think?
I always say 10. 10.
Tens of listeners.
I always kid that we have 10, but actually we have a lot more than 10, surprisingly enough.
What the heck? Why did my... What? Oh, here we go. I'm like, what happened to our stuff? So...
Our tings. What happened to our tings?
So we had 14 downloads on the 10th. So yeah, we've got tens of listeners.
Tens of listeners. All right, we're in the teens.
We're in the teens is...
We joke. We really joke about the listeners that we have because we're not full of ourselves, and we always joke about our tens of listeners. And it's actually an old Mick Foley joke from his wrestling days where the Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, would say, "My millions and millions of fans," and Mick Foley would follow and go, my tens of fans are here in the building.
But it's, I'd rather have 10 really awesome fans than millions of people who barely give a crap. Because our listeners actually pay attention to us. I mean, we've got our number one fan who's going to try and meet us at Dragon Con that we are confirmed for recording live at.
Sweet.
I cannot give the details as of yet because we just got the preliminary schedule out.
Preliminary
with, limbs before being limbs.
With stuff.
And stuff and things. And so, it's going to happen. And a surprise announcement, I'm going to be on a panel. Ooh. I can't give too many details out, and I don't have a firm time yet. Again, preliminary schedule.
Preliminary.
However, I have been selected to be part of a panel that is going to discuss some stuff later in the day after our initial recording session of the Duh podcasting moment of stuff. Oh. And I'm sure Chris and his lovely bride, if they get a hotel room that weekend, are going to be in the audience heckling me until I giggle snort all the way through that panel.
I wouldn't say heckling you. Making stupid faces and gestures. Noise. But no, I would... Fart noise. Insert fart noise here. No, I would not... That's your moment to shine. I would not do that to you.
It's not shining per se. Hiding under a table, maybe. So we've got listeners as far as South Africa, Italy, and the United Kingdom. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. And we are. I'd say we're kicking butt and taking names, but we're just kind of hanging out with people. How you doing? So
how you doing?
Yeah, it's been a minute because we both have real life. So we're a little late. Got stuff, and we had the deluge of rain here for a couple days at the beginning of the week. I thought Noah was going to stop by. It was beautiful.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was great. It got rid of so much of the dryness, and now it's an absolute beautiful, cool weather weekend and weather week. Oh, the week's been beautiful.
It has been rather pretty. There's been a couple days that it's been kind of sticky and humid, as per usual Georgia weather.
It's summer. I mean, summer in the South. It's humid.
Humid. It's humid.
It's humid. It's humid. My hair is perfect. Okay? Listen, it's the finest orangutan hair that you could get on top of my head that has been surgically...
Let me tell you something. Get off my lawn.
No, old man. You've had your time.
No.
You've had your time.
I want my soup. Damn it. I want my soup. Every time I see him, that's all I think about. Hey, get off my lawn.
Get off
Give me my soup.
I'm running again. It's great. I'm running again.
Poor Bernie.
I'm not going to be killed. I'm afraid of it. I'm not afraid of it. You know, I'd love to be in the Clinton household right now. Hey, baby, how you doing? You still pissed? Oh, man, you are still pissed off. All right.
I'm gonna go over here. Have you gotten a Biden imitation down?
Joe? I mean, why? I mean, you just what, a vacant stare? I mean, that's your ba-dum-bum. Oh, ba-dum-bum. Thank you. Gonna be here all week. All right, try the veal. The 9:30 show, same as the 10:30 show. Tip your waitress.
Touch your waitress.
Touchy.
Touch your waitress.
Cat and touchy. Cat inappropriate touchy. I don't know. I just... Joe is kind of like an awkward grin or a vacant stare. You got Joe Biden. There you go.
He's just creepy. There's everything creepy about him.
You know, what kind of gets me is he's part of the whole rhetoric of, you know, being over offended and everything else. You know, what we wake up and go, what offends us today, America? And there he is, inappropriately touching and just being a little too close for comfort.
Yeah.
Right, we'll be polite and say it's a little too close for comfort.
A little too close for comfort.
And he's cracking jokes about it like, it's no big deal. Well, in this day and age, I mean, let's face it, you can't crack a joke about anything because you never know who's going to be. Yeah. I mean,
it's going to hurt somebody's feelings.
So you crack a joke in your own private circle, you're fine, or, you know, what have you. But he's acting like this is no big deal. To me, I think it's going to hurt him in the long run at the polls, where people are going to go, yeah, I don't think so. Yeah.
I think also his wishy-washiness as far as standing on policy. I think it's so, because, and I'm not taking sides. I'm just observing. It's one of those things of one person says one thing and he goes, oh, well, you know, I don't necessarily, not quite no, but yes, but no, but yes, but no, but yes, but no. And then somebody will say something else like, yeah, but your party believes ... And he's like, oh, well, yeah. So, cause my party and I, and yes, and no, and yes.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
No, yes, no. Anyway, we say goodbye to Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Did I say that right? Sarah Huckabee Sanders?
Sarah Huckabee Sanders, yeah.
She is leaving the Trump administration White House at 3.5 years in. And I think she's done a pretty good job. I
think she took a lot of abuse for what she did really as press secretary. She took a lot of abuse.
But I think she handled it with style. Too. You know, yeah, she did dish it out pretty good. So I wonder who's going to go in there next. Did they already announce who's going to be the new press secretary?
I have no idea. I have been sans politics. I have not followed anything political.
Since we decided not to hit political.
Yeah, just since we decided just not to touch on it. I mean, we're going to poke fun at it because let's face it.
Some of it's fun.
You know, last election we had, the Republican Party went, man, we're just going to fill this nomination thing and have so many people running where you can't, you're just going to be inundated. And this guy that's going to run, this Trump fella, he'll be so swamped with other people. And the Dems have just gone, here, hold my beer. And, you know, somebody asked me the other day, who's running for, you know, who's campaigning for president? And I started rattling off the names. They went, wow, are you done? And I went, no, there's like 24 people.
Just for the Democrats?
Running just for the Democrats.
Wow.
Trump, I guess he's running again. He's going to run for his, second term or incumbent.
So.
Who hell knows?
I mean, unless either that or the Republicans are going to have to get a really good candidate up there.
Well, I mean,
or a couple candidates up there. I mean, it's like the Democrats are kind of going, let's throw this all on the wall and see what sticks. And the Republicans, I haven't heard anything.
It's about as ridiculous as when Schwarzenegger ran for governor of California.
I am the governor.
Yeah, Maria, I like you. I like me and my wife Skeletor, yes.
Speaking of Schwarzenegger.
That's the wonderful Chris Pratt he made my daughter. I love it. Anyway.
Did you see, have you heard about this whole deep fake thing? Okay, so apparently, and I think what brought it to light was a video of Nancy Pelosi that somebody had doctored so that she ends up saying a completely different thing. Like it's her face superimposed or edited, and then her voice has been spliced together to make it like she actually said something during a press conference.
Really?
And it's called, they're being labeled as deep fakes, right? And so one of the, there's a, I'll have to find it and post it or send it to you, but there's a video of, so there's a, what's his name? It's Saturday Night Live, SNL, and there's a guy from there that does amazing imitations of people, including Schwarzenegger, right?
Right.
And he was talking about, he was at one of the late night talk shows, and he was talking about how his kid is young and like he's got a toddler, and how suddenly they get really demanding, and it's, and so he starts doing this imitation of what his kid would sound like if it was Schwarzenegger. And it's like, get to the diapers now. Put my diaper on now. Where is my dolly? And as he's doing it, his face transforms into a young Arnold Schwarzenegger. So somebody had taken the video of him doing the impression, and by the end of the video, it looks like a young, thin, dark-haired Arnold Schwarzenegger having this conversation, making fun of himself and talking about his kid, right?
Really?
And it's within like the first 8 seconds of the video. You're watching this guy, and suddenly you see it, and you're like, "Oh my God, he looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger." Somebody literally, like those Snapchat filters.
Yeah.
That they're putting, like, you can put a dog on your face and blah blah blah. Well, they've got one that can change your sex, so you can look like a girl or you can look like a boy.
Oh, I've seen those. That's a little creepy.
It is a little creepy. Well, apparently this is kind of the same premise. And they like superimpose this filter over somebody's face to make it look like a different person. And they're almost unrecognizable. Like you almost can't tell that it's been done. And people are really worried. And the point of that is, like, even with like the Nancy Pelosi thing, they were saying that was a deep fake video and that it wasn't actually Pelosi saying those things. But they're really scared because they can actually do this and mass produce them, and they go viral, and people will think they're real. So that makes me question everything, like every media outlet, everything I've ever, like, it's like one of these really bad sci-fi movies. Nothing you see is real.
It's a bad sci-fi movie.
It's a bad sci-fi movie. Bad sci-fi. But speaking of good sci-fi, we finished The Travelers. And
how did you like it?
It was so good. And then we found out that it was canceled. We were like, oh, third season, this is amazing. What a great end. George R.R. Martin should have watched this. Oh, my God. Wait, what do you mean it's canceled? We're not going to have any more? It happens every single time I fall in love with a show. It happened with The Expanse, which has been picked up again, thank God. It happened with Firefly. Every show.
Oh my gosh.
God, I get into these shows. I'm like, yo. What?
Somebody was going on about Game of Thrones and the ending and all that other stuff, and I just looked at them and I said, "Really, Firefly?" And they stopped and looked at me for a second. I'm like, "You're right. You win."
Win. Yep. Yup.
If any show, and it's Fox. It's a Fox show. There's a lot of those Fox shows you got so into, And they were just like, we're going to cancel it. And they left it with no ending. Okay. One show the guy Michael T. Weiss was in, and it was back in the late 90s, early 2000s, John Doe. An amnesia victim wakes up.
Yeah.
And he's colorblind. They did experiments on him. He was colorblind, but he's like an absolute savant. He's so intelligent, but he doesn't even know his own damn name. He can play piano. He can do all this. He can do that. He figures mathematics. He solves crimes, the whole deal, but he can't figure out his own mystery. Who is he? It was really well written, really great show, but then they canceled it, and you're left with not finding out any ending. That's every effing Fox show that they've ever had that you get so into.
Do that. Silly.
That you just look and go, damn it.
That's not right. But Netflix is confirming the Umbrella Academy Season 2. It is underway. They're recording, I think, or they're taping it now. I'm wondering, have you heard any more about Kit Harington in rehab? I haven't looked it up or anything.
I have not heard any more about that.
I'm gonna Google real quick. I spelled it wrong. I don't know if he's out yet. It says 2 days ago. I don't know if this is past tense or not. He he's been there for the past month. Still wishing him well. If he's still there, I hope he's good. That's some hard stuff, because I just, I can't imagine being a part of that whole thing and then being done and people just being so miserable about it. Like, can't you just be happy that I put on a really good show for you? I mean, the hell? Show's over, folks.
I don't know.
You don't gotta stay here.
I don't know.
You gotta go. You can't stay here, but you don't gotta go home. Anyways, so what else is new? Anything?
You know what? We saw Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
How was that?
It was good. I walked into it going, it's not, because I grew up with watching the Japanese, guy in the rubber suit.
Gojira!
And then got really excited back in the late 90s when, we had Godzilla with Matthew Broderick and all that stuff, and it was basically an iguana that climbed the Empire State Building. And I was really sadly disappointed with it and went, I went, hell is this? It's just stupid. Then, they did, Warner Brothers got the rights to Toho and did the remake or the reboot of Godzilla as a brand new thing. And I was actually surprised with, pleasantly surprised with that. Glad I waited to watch it on TV. It had Bryan Cranston and, he's been in a lot of stuff. He's a Japanese actor. He's in The Last Samurai. I can't think of the guy's name. But anyway, so we wanted to go see the sequel, King of the Monsters, And I said, okay, I'd be interested to see this. I saw Kong Skull Island and with King Kong, and they're tying in this agency called Monarch.
Oh, so
that's studying all the monsters, and they've tied in King Kong with Godzilla.
Nice.
Okay, so there's a scene in Skull Island where they're showing Kong's not alone. He's not the only one. And they show Ghidorah, they show Mothra, Rodan, and then they flash to Godzilla. These cave paintings of these big monsters. So now in the Godzilla movie, they talk about, all the monsters are up and rising, and there's something causing all this stuff and going on. And they keep going Skull Island. There's some weird activity on Skull Island. It looks like Kong. Kong is on the move. Kong is this. Kong is that. Kong. They keep saying Kong during the movie. So the next one is going to be set up, I think, King Kong versus Godzilla.
Oh.
And I got to hand it to Warner. Warner for their movies, Disney's eating their lunch. If we're going to talk business, not just fan and geekdom, Disney's eating their lunch. And Warner's the only entity up there that could the rabbit and the mouse can kind of go toe-to-toe in Hollywood. If we're talking our King of the Monsters sort of thing.
Okay.
Disney's beating them hands down with the superhero genre because for whatever Disney or Warner Brothers DC can't get their act together with pinning down a solid Batman. They've got Superman. We've got Wonder Woman. Henry Cavill's great as Superman. Gal Gadot is fantastic as Wonder Woman.
As Wonder Woman, yeah.
Everybody's gaga for Jason Momoa. Okay, he does a good job. Yeah, I know. Momoa. It's okay. Wipe your chin.
Momoa. Okay, I'm good.
Okay. I think they've miscast a lot of stuff and gotten people really excited about a few things and then watched it and went, there's a lot of DC movies I've gone, it was okay. It was okay. It was watchable. It was okay. That's how you're left leaving things going, it was watchable. It was all right. It was good. It was okay. It was okay. You were very surprised with Ben Affleck as Batman, and now they've got Robert Pattinson, and you go,
what?
Really?
What? Why? What? Why? Why for you do
Jesse
that?
Eisenberg as Lex Luthor, and you go, huh? The casting, you always go, really?
What?
So they've got something here with the whole Godzilla, King Kong genre. And I think this is the thing that they're going to have that's going to put them on the map for kind of toe-to-toe. It's a Monsters Avengers, as you can kind of put it.
That's kind of cool.
They're kind of cool, okay? They're trying to do this whole Avengers type thing where it just one leads into the other. And they've got the formula. They failed with the superhero stuff with Justice League, Batman, and Superman. They're kind of failing with that, but they're winning with this.
I wonder if it's because it's monsters versus humans. Because they can't get the people right, so they're going with the monsters. You can't really screw up a digital monster.
Well, they had the monsters team up with the humans this time to go against Ghidra, the three-headed monster that they awakened.
Right, but I mean, the Star is a digitized
creature.
So,
right.
It's not like you have to worry about, the Gal Gadots showing up and nailing it. You can make the digital creature do what you want it to do. So maybe that's where Warner Brothers' strength is. Instead of glittering vampires turn bat boys, maybe they need to stick with the digitized creatures.
Sparkling vampire. I wonder, the big joke is, since Robert Pattinson is the new Batman, in the second Lego movie, Batman Lego is voiced by I can't think of his name. He was on Arrested Development. He's on Arrested Development. Plays Job. You know who I'm talking about?
The actor, yeah.
The actor. I can't think of the guy's name now. His name escapes me. But anyway, in the second Lego movie, Batman Lego Batman, goes from wearing all black to like a sparkling sequenced outfit. So people are now joking. They're wondering, is Robert Pattinson going to show up as like Disco Batman because he was a disco vampire?
Chris Pratt.
I for one.
Will Arnett. It was Will Arnett. Will Arnett did the voice of Batman in the Lego movie.
Thank you, Will Arnett, who I think was absolutely great as I'm Batman. Darkness, brooding, no parents.
I did see that one, and that was hilarious.
the whole Bat Metal, song is hysterical to me.
The Disco Batman really scares me.
Disco Batman. We're fighting the aliens from planet Duplo. Speaking of music, all right, we kind of touched on that.
Music.
I've become a fan of Post Modern Jukebox. And if you don't know what Post Modern Jukebox is, they take a modern song and put a jazzy spin on it. Okay? And there's a lot of songs that I just absolutely hate, pop songs that I flip off the radio and go, I can't listen to this shit. And I turn the radio off. It's found new life with Post Modern Jukebox to me.
Let's see, I just found a Motown style postmodern jukebox. I Knew You Were Trouble by Taylor Swift.
Right.
This looks interesting. Let's see what. Nope, that's a commercial. Stupid commercials. Okay, well.
Scott Bradley has been doing and he's done it with a lot of people like Wayne Brady. He's gotten in. if you know who Puddle's Piddle Party is, he was
Yes.
he's a guy that dresses up as a clown
And cries all the time, doesn't he?
and he kind of looks sad, but he was on America's Got Talent and wowed the crowd with his song. He's singing with them now.
Oh my God.
Well, they've got something out, and it just came out for a new album, and it's called Sepia is the New Orange.
As opposed to Orange is the New Black.
Right, as opposed to Orange is the New Black. One of the songs is Pinky and the Brain.
Oh no, hang on.
Okay, and they've gotten Rob Paulson and Maurice LaManche to be in the song voicing Pinky and the Brain.
Okay, I see Pinky and the Brain, but it doesn't say Rob Paulson. It has somebody else in it.
Yeah, it's featuring the lead singer is hang on,
Emily Guglia.
Emily Guglia. Now hang on, here's your little intro.
Pinky and the Brain. Yeah. Pinky and the Brain. One is a genius, the other's insane. Laboratory mice, their genes have been spliced. They're dinky, Pinky and the Brain, brain.
Now see, I think that's a great spin on the song.
Yes.
Hang on, I'm gonna try to. Here we go. Wait a minute.
No, well, I'm bothering. And how much do we need? 17 this can hear you. Oh, I hope so. I don't know, right? It's all comfortable.
I'll
This is
load it.
awful. Look, Pinky, have to do this 17 years or so. We make enough tips to enforce our latest plan.
Oh, I hope so, Brain. How much do we need?
About $182 million.
Oh, dear. Oh, well.
Yes.
Let's give it a try.
Yes. Pinky, are you pondering what I'm pondering?
I think so, Brain, but me and Pippi Longstocking, what would the children look like?
We have to get back.
I will load it at the end of the episode for everyone's enjoyment.
Yes, please. And I'm sorry, we're not audio talented enough to have clips thrown into the thing. We're doing that on my iPhone, which is actually pretty good.
Not
for
bad.
playing music.
It
Not
breaks
bad.
up a little
Not bad.
bit. It breaks up a little bit, but that's okay. I will have it here at the end of the episode for your enjoyment. And yeah, that's some good stuff.
But I have become an absolute. I was getting used to them and being pretty decent with a couple of songs that they did. But I am an absolute fan now, going through their album base and listening to like the cover songs that they have that they're hysterical. Like they do a cover of Africa, Toto's Africa. Let's see here. They've done Meet the Flintstones. They've done Living on a Prayer. They've done the Thong Song.
Oh my gosh. That's so funny. We're gonna have to look them up. And
Yeah, you give them a listen if you are kind of a fan of like the 40s and 50s and jazz and roaring 20s kind of stuff. You'll enjoy Post Modern Jukebox.
I like. I don't know if you've ever heard of Dramophone.
Yes, Dramophone.
Is it Dramophone or is it? I don't know if that's the group name. Hang on. Is it Dramophone? Gramophone's the song by Caravan Palace. Caravan Palace is also that
Caravan
kind of
Palace.
jivey.
Electro swing.
Yeah, that's what that's called. I have realized that I'm kind of into electro swing. I'm actually starting to get into electronica and house music because for some reason when I'm working on important stuff for my job that I can't really talk about, because I could die and lose my front teeth out of sheer torture. But it keeps me focused while I'm working. I used to listen to stuff like Sarah Bareilles and soundtracks to Downton Abbey and things like that. But for some reason, because it kind of keeps me awake and there's no real words to distract me. Sometimes there's words, but there's not terribly words. So, shutting up.
Anyway.
So,
Bum-ba-dum-bum-ba.
that's all I got.
That's all I got too. Listen to some Pinky and the Brain from Post Modern Jukebox.
Pinky, Pinky and
Pinky.
the brain. Thought.
Da-da-da-da. Off. Oh, dear God, Pinky. By the way, if you do like Pinky and the Brain, they're both now on Rick and Morty as well.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, they've gotten both of them on Rick and Morty doing voices because the guy that created it is just an absolute huge fan of the two of them. And you can still catch Rob Paulson on Anime Talking Tunes, where he gets people that do your favorite cartoon voices, and they do readings from scripts from other movies.
Yes, I love
in
that.
people's cartoon voices. If you get a chance, Seth Green doing Chris Griffin and Rob Paulson doing Pinky from the third Star Wars movie, Revenge of the Sith. It's hysterical. Where Seth Green is doing Chris Griffin as Anakin Skywalker.
Jeez.
You'll laugh your full head off, and they have to stop and keep stopping and stopping and stopping because they're cracking themselves up. But that's it. That's all I have. I don't have anything else because it's summer. It's short. It's a short news week. That's all we got. You know.
It's a short news week. Yep. I got nothing. I guess that's a podcast. Happy Father's Day, by the way.
Happy Father's Day to all you dads.
Yeah, you're a dad-ish.
Yeah, I'm a dad-ish, you know.
You're dad-ish.
I'll say the line from Creep Show and go, Bedelia, where's my cake? And it's Father's Day. So if you know what I'm talking about, you'll understand.
All right. So, yeah, on that note, here's Pinky and the Brain from
There you go.
Post Modern Jukebox.
Enjoy.
Yeah.
The Pinky and the Brain. Yes, Pinky and the Brain. One is a genius, the other's insane. They're laboratory mice. Their genes have been spliced. They're dinky, Pinky and the Brain.
Pinky, what are you doing?
Oh, hello, Brain. I can hear the ocean.
Yes, and I'm sure the ocean can hear you.
Oh, I hope so. I don't know, Brain. I'm not at all comfortable in this human outfit. This is awful. Look.
Pinky, we only have to do this another 17 years or so before we make enough tips to enforce our latest plan.
Oh, I hope so, Brain. How much do we need?
About $182 million.
Oh, dear. Oh, well.
Yes.
Let's give it a try.
Yes. Pinky, are you pondering what I'm pondering?
I think so, Brain, but me and Pippi Longstocking, what would the children look like?
No, Pinky. We have to get back to the lab to plan for tomorrow night.
Why, Brain? What are we going to do tomorrow night?
Steinberg bar mitzvah. And then the same thing we do every night. Try to take over the world.
Snarf.
Yes.
Before the night is done, the plan will be unfurled by the dawning of the sun. They'll take over the world. The Pinky and the Brain. Yes, Pinky and the Brain. The Twilight Campaign is easy to explain. To prove their mousy worth, they'll overthrow the earth. They're dinky, Pinky and the Brain.
Thanks for joining us here at the Department of Understanding Humans, also known as DUH. Just remember, this is our circus. These are our monkeys. Be sure to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and other social media outlets. You can find all of our podcasting streams and feeds at our website at www.dawebsite.com. That's D.U.H website.com. Thanks again for joining us, and have a great day.